you took the executive director position at FACETS during the heart of the pandemic. What is your background that led you to the position, and how did you first steer your career to cinema operations, and why?
It really started with my experience in theater for young audiences and that understanding Chicago's youth landscape, the educators that support our youth, the family needs, and of course the youth themselves. And so I co-founded and ran Emerald City Theater for 20 years and just got to know that really well. And as this position became available, what I saw, what I knew was the Chicago International Children's Film Festival. I had attended, my organization was a friend of the festival.
Nice.
And so I was just thrilled to see what I could do to help that film festival. So that was the starting point, Patrick. It was a big learning curve for me, all the other things
Sure.
that Facets does. But what I knew coming into it is I knew the importance of cultural organizations to the city of Chicago. And I know the funders in the landscape. I know the government officials that support it and many of the funders. And so I felt that I could connect these things better. I felt like I could help Facets re-engage with its own city more as an effort to help grow the organization.
To me, this is one of the most important announcements in Chicago film history in my tenure as a film reporter. Yet it seems like, well, why wasn't this considered before? So, Karen, why wasn't this considered before, in your opinion? And how did the idea become front and center to be considered?
Well, you know what I learned in the past year as these conversations started is this has been tried a couple of
Ah,
times. It has been tried. And, you learn from those lessons. Both, Eugene Park and Anna Garcia Doyle, they started this momentum and it slowed. It almost came to a halt in 2021 because they got pulled themselves into so many different directions. They're running their own organizations, and
exactly.
so that driver was gone. And interestingly, Gordon Quinn shared with me that he was part of an effort a number of years ago that tried to do something similar, and and it kind of lost its steam. And what we learned is those efforts really relied on the kindness of volunteers. They really relied on the industry professionals kind of volunteering their time to organize and mobilize and keep moving it forward. And so that's lovely, but also maybe the source for why the steam was lost. And I think that we're addressing that this time by committing Facets resources to administrate this effort that the membership will tell us where they want to go.
As you were early in the process of formulating how this alliance will work and how it will contribute, what has happened so far that gives an indication of what direction the alliance will go toward going forward?
The direction for the alliance really has been mapped out in a 2-year plan that's been distributed to the pledged members, and they were all a part of designing. And so what we were able to do over the past year is have a handful of convenings of organizations and individuals interested in this, and just started, Patrick, with asking the question, what do you need? And collecting that data and asking it a couple times over, and asking it slightly differently each time, or really drilling down into specifics. And so, it really comes down to the three or so items that are stated in our mission. The sector needs to have its profile raised. Audiences, there are wonderful audiences for film festivals, but we believe that there's a large Chicago audience base that doesn't know yet how much they love film festival going and what that can mean to their community. So profile raising was a big piece of it. Expertise sharing, we just heard over and over again that we can help remove the silos of our film festival community and move faster and more expeditiously by sharing our expertise. And the other thing is to increase the capacity of the sector, attract more funding to the sector, and just allow us to do so much more. So those are the three things that we kept hearing. And from that, we've been able over the last 6 months to really build very specific plans on how we're going to move forward in the next 2 years.
So this is a related question. What have you found out about other film festivals so far that has both surprised you and helped the Alliance in putting a philosophy together?
I think that the thing, I say this more coming from many years in a different sector, in the theater sector. What I've learned about from other film festivals and just in general, what so strikes me is how many film festivals have a social commitment. They're focused on a social issue. And the film festival is often built around that, or a cultural community that they want to use their film festival to expand the understanding of that cultural community. And I find theater is not quite as overt in its approach with that kind of thing. Film festivals are just they are not shy at all. One Earth Film Festival, I know what that's going to be about, and so that really inspired the piece of our mission with the Alliance, that our purpose is to help film festivals impact Chicago's cultural ecosystem as well as the economy of our communities. And I believe that's going to be so clear and evident when you look at what these film festivals have dedicated themselves to.
How many area film festivals are there in number, and can the Alliance provide a marketing base for festivals that are lesser known?
Yeah, so we're still gathering the data on the number of area film festivals. What I am told by the city, the last time they did this effort in 2018, is they got to 50. We've expanded the geography to be Chicagoland and beyond. We're really encouraging Illinois Film Festival. So that number should grow, should be higher than 50. So we'll let you know when we know. I think that in terms of how do you support the smaller film festivals, gosh, we just need to do the basics in this first year. A good website that is made readily available to the public, that just says, do you want to know who all the film festivals are and when they are? We can answer those two really easy questions with a good searchable, filterable website. So gosh, just step one.
Finally, when we do a follow-up in 2023 about the Chicago Alliance of Film Festivals, what are your goals as to what you want to accomplish by a year from now, in the sense of what is in the works right now? And you sort of answered that partially, but can you give me a fuller explanation?
We are not officially operating the Alliance yet. So we've made this announcement, and that is the first critical step in fundraising to fund the operations of the Alliance. So my expectation is that we'll begin our actual operations in early 23. And that's when we'll begin the formal steps of inviting members in, and we'll have a membership fee structure that we can publish, and we'll know how much we've raised and know what we can do. So that's not terribly sexy, but that's what a large part of it is. We're going to know what resources we have and what we can do. But at a minimum, Patrick, I expect that a year from now, we have the website that I was referencing that will help Chicagoans find the film festival that they're so curious to see and get to know, and attend, and that the membership will have come together at least twice to share our expertise, to invite others from around the country to help us build our expertise. There's a national organization called Film Festival Alliance that we are in collaboration with to design what our relationship will be. So at least those things that I just mentioned will be in my report out to you in a year.
This is Patrick McDonald for HollywoodChicago.com. Copyright 2022.